Welcome back everyone, John Panner here with another video. Today we're going to be taking a quick look at Limbus Corporation. It's a brand new game that dropped from Project Moon. They're the developers that made Lobotomy Corporation as well as Library of Runa. If you guys haven't checked those games out, highly recommend it because those are great games. But if not, all good. This game is a very lore focused game and there's a lot of text, but if you don't care about the lore and only care about gameplay, completely skip, don't even worry about it. And for those of you guys who actually do care, if you don't want to play the video game, just watch a few videos to get caught up. However, this game, day one, definitely a lot of tips and tricks for me to tell you guys before you get started. There's definitely a few things I would have wished I knew before starting because this game is a little bit buggy on PC. What do I mean by that? Well, this game is actually very generous with rerolling. Surprisingly, if you do your extractions, which is your pulls, you don't like what pulls you got, you can go to your window, go to your gear setting, go to settings, go to your account, close account, type in Limbus company, click confirm, and it will take you straight back to the game title, and then you can hop back into the game, skip the tutorial, and you're right back into doing your pulls. The only issue is that with Steam and PC, unfortunately, it just doesn't work. If you do it, you do your close account, it'll take you to the game title, you log back in, it takes you straight back to the same account without wiping your data. Don't know why, it just doesn't work. But you might be saying to yourself, well, there are these send code and merge codes input, which seems like you can do rerolls on your phone, on emulators, and then later on just transfer the data from your phone to Steam, which is technically what I tried to do, but unfortunately, this function right here just doesn't work at the moment. The game developer is aware that the merging system does not work right now, so they have to fix it. So what I recommend people, especially if they want to play on PC, is don't at the moment. Just go on your phone, do your rerolls, play on your phone, and once the Steam version gets patched and that merge system gets fixed, then transfer your data from your phone over to your Steam account. But for now, unfortunately, people who are playing on Steam, you're out of luck. Can't really do rerolls at the moment. I recommend just play on your phone, transfer the data after that. Now, tier list. Obviously, brand new game. Nobody knows what the tier is right now or what the best units are, but I can give you a general idea about how to build a decent team comp. Now, these are the characters that I'm using right now. Now, you might be wondering, I have 12 characters, and when you are in your battle phase and when you're doing your battles, unfortunately you can only have 5 characters. So you would think, oh, if I only have 5 characters, I should be putting my highest tier units. These units all have rarities, as you can see, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3 zeros, but we're going to refer to them as stars. 1-star unit, 2-star unit, 3-star unit. You might be thinking, oh, well, if that's the case, I should be using this guy, this guy, this guy for sure, and then a few of these people. You know, I should definitely have him, because they're 3 stars, and also her, or her, to fill out the remaining 2 slots to make sure I have a team of 5. You would think that's the case, but not quite. Let me explain. The reason why having the best characters on your team might not be the best idea is this. If I go over to a quick scenario, you go to drive, you can go over to your next storyline scene. As you can see right here, even though this is my unit, I've selected a 3-star, 3-star, 2-star, 2-star, and a 1-star. Now you might be wondering, why am I doing that? Well, the reason being is affinities. Each character has a certain affinity slot. And what I mean by that, if I have this character on my team, what he provides is he provides 3 skills that have the green color and 2 skills that have the yellow color. What do I mean by that? Each character has different skills they can use when they're in battle. He has 3 green skills that can pop up on the battle screen, or he can have 2 green skills that can pop up in the battle screen. Now, what these represent is his ego. Each character has an ego. Ego is essentially their desperation move, their super move, their power move. It takes resources to charge up their super move, and once those resources are met, then they can use their super move, and their super move does a very strong attack, but it has a cost to it. As you can see, it costs this and this. What does that mean? That means that if I were to use this character, his affinities, he only provides 2 yellows and 3 green skills. But if you want to use a super move, you need to have characters that generate an orange move and a wind move right here. So that means I would need to find a character that would generate that. And unfortunately, the only character that generates wind on my team right now is Faust. She generates 2 wind, and she also generates what else? 3 purples with her skill, but her special move, her desperation move, requires 4 blues as well as 2 greens. Requires 2 greens, as you can see, and also requires 2 greens and 4 blues. And that, as you can see right here, is in her ego right here. Her egos cost 2 greens and 4 blues. Now, why is this so important? This is important is because if I were to, say for example, use my strongest characters and then click one of these 2, what you'll find out here is that I'm going to have these 2 characters with these skills available that are resources that are useful to me that I can't really use. These end up being dead resources, because what ends up happening is I'm going to need a character where their special is going to take 1 red. I'm going to need a character, or currently right now my team, their special requires, if they were all to use it, requires 7 blues, 7 winds, 2 greens, 3 rocks, 4 oranges, and 1 fire. And as you can see on the left hand side, the maximum I can get in 1 turn is 6 blues, 2 blues, 3 greens, 2 rocks, 2 oranges, and 2 fires. What do I mean by that? Well, let's just hop into the battle and I will show you guys. Now, this game plays, at least in this phase, very simply as connect the most colors, and the more colors you connect, the more damage you do. Easy enough, right? But if you hold on to your character, you will see that this is their special move. This character, in order to get access to his special moves, needs 3 oranges and a cloud. This character right here, if I want to use her special moves, they need 1 cloud and 3 blues. This character right here, if I want to use his special power, requires a red and 3 rocks. This character right here, if I want to use the special move, needs 2 greens and 4 blues. And this character right here, if I want to use his special move, I need 1 orange, and what else do I need? And 5 clouds. Now, as you can see right here, having a solid team comp where you have the right skills is very important, because even though I have really strong characters, if I don't build up these skills, they're basically useless. And from what I showed you from the previous screen before, is that anything purple is useless to me, because none of my characters require purple as a requirement to use their special moves. So what that means is, with this team comp, I want to avoid purple as much as I can. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to chain the colors together and let the game play out. Now, I'm not going to go over the complex system that happens, but essentially this game is bigger number wins. If you have a bigger number, you do damage. If you don't have a bigger number, sometimes the enemy will do damage to you. That's the simple gist of it. The enemy is in their staggered phase right now. Staggered just means they can't act and they take a lot more damage. This game works off of a rock, paper, scissors system, very similar to Fire Emblem's weapon triangle. Each character has their own weapon triangle where they're strong and weak and can take damage from different character or weapon types. There's blunt, pierce, and slash. Not going to get into too much detail about it, but this just means certain characters have weaknesses that they wish to avoid. Now, as you can see right here, now my resources on the right hand side have gone up. I have 2 greens, a cloud, a brown, and a fire. Well, let's just say this character right here was the one that used green, right? Nope, she used blue. 3 blues. Do I have 3 blues here? I don't. Fair enough. Avoid. Take a look at this character. Requires 4 blues, but I have 2 greens. Unfortunate. Take a look at this character. He requires 3 yellows. Don't have 3 yellows. This character, gonna need 5 clouds. So unfortunately, with this turn, there's no way for me to be able to proc or get enough resources to be able to proc my special move next turn. So what that means is I'm just gonna build up as much as I can for the next turn. Let's do a yellow. Let's go with the purples, blues, and a purple. Essentially getting 3 of the same color is the most bonuses you'll get. Essentially getting 3 colors in the same chain does the most damage. Doing 1, not as much damage, 2, a bit more damage, 3, a lot more damage. Now, as you can see right here, my character is staggered. That just means my character's stamina got obliterated. He rolled his cards, and essentially what ended up happening was he was not lucky. And since he's unlucky, now he's staggered. All that means is he just can't act for a turn and he just takes more damage. Now, I don't like that. I'm going to see if I can get someone special. This character needs another blue. Can I get another blue? Luckily I can. So what's going to happen is I'm going to try to get my character to do their special move. Now, as you can see right here, I have 3 purples. This, you would think, is going to do a ton of damage, but if you look on the top screen, you're going to see that currently right now, even though my character is dominating, their enemy has plus 76% and I have negative 34, which is terrible. So we're going to go on this route because it's plus 100% and the enemy's minus 34%. And unfortunately, these two are the same, so it doesn't quite matter, and these two makes no difference. So as you can see right here, lock it in and let the game play out. Currently, the game plays very simply. It's quite easy, but it gets quite difficult early on. When you're in the overworld and you're just playing the maps where this is your phase, all this really means as this is just one style of gameplay. Now, my character, I think, are glowing. Yep, I can click their desperation move. I hold on to their character, get their special move up online. This one doesn't have a special move. This one does not have a special move, and this one does not have a special move. Okay, so what this means right now is this character is going to use a rock move. He's going to use a special move. But if I can, ideally, I want to be able to chain more rock moves together to do more damage. Because right now he's doing 135% damage. We can go to blue. We're going to do blue. And we're going to do yellow. Yeah, we're going to do yellow. We're going to do blue into the special power move, and then we're going to avoid purple because purple does us no good, because purple is a resource that's completely useless to us. So we're going to go into the orange, green, and we want cloud because cloud is useful. Let it play out. And what's pretty cool is that this game, the Eagle, it essentially gives you a nice flashy cutscene move. Pretty cool. It also tells you the damage you do. This one did 33 damage. The game is kinda sort of smart in the sense that once you kill a character, your characters don't continue to use their skills on something that's already dead. As you can see, having a solid team comp is actually quite important. Ideally, what you want to do is you want to be able to balance your skills to your character's ego. That way you can use the skills that you have with your character, the corresponding color, to build up the correct resources to use the special move. Now, we're into phase 2. As you can see right here, we have built up these resources on the side, but unfortunately purple is still useless to us, and I don't want to use purple. I want to try to get more blues, if possible. These are harder to get, so I'm gonna avoid that. This guy is completely difficult because I don't have any character that can get me a lot of clouds. And this person requires another cloud. But as you can see here, right now I have one cloud in the back end, and that's it. So what it looks like is the best move is for me to be able to build up a proper chain. So we're gonna do green, green, green for the most power, avoid purple. But in this case, we don't have a choice, so we're going to purple. And then we're going to blue, blue, cloud, because we need cloud. Cloud is like a very, very limited resource on this team. So it's very important to be able to try to get the resource. You need to be able to use the special move of your characters. What ends up happening is if you build a team where you are lacking a certain color, what ends up happening is some of your characters become gimped because they can no longer use their ego because you just don't have the character that can build up that resource for you. Now, you might be looking at this game and you might be wondering what the heck is happening. Well, essentially what's happening right now is your characters have a certain speed to the game. Faster characters act first. What ends up happening is if a faster character acts first, it can clash with an opposing character and force them to attack you. What basically that means is if you have enough initiative, you can override an opponent's AI and force them to clash with your character. This ends up becoming favorable because if you get your characters to clash properly with an enemy, you can save yourself a character from getting staggered like this. Like I said, this game works off of the rock, paper, scissors mechanic, and what you want to do is ideally you want to be able to control where your characters move to be able to make sure that the characters with stronger stats are fighting someone who they are strong against versus having the enemy fight against a character that they're strong against. Now, as you can see right here, we can finally use these skills. And as you can see right here, because I use this skill, the resources for this character blacked out. So let's go, use her skill, get his skill, and let us start. Let's go with not purple, avoid purple, blue, 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 blue. We'll go blue again. Yes, we'll do blue again. Let's go. Desperation move, green, ego, cloud. As you can see, as the game progresses, the chain gets longer and longer and longer, which allows you to build up resources faster and faster and faster. Now, as the game progresses, you can see that your characters will get stronger as it goes because you have access to more skill nodes. But what that also means is that you want to be able to ideally get yourself to a point where you can have a team where you can constantly churn out specials. Now, this is just one team comp that I'm using. As you can see right here, I was able to finish this in round 7. And my last tip is to make sure you're managing your stamina efficiently. This game uses stamina. It's called enkephalin here, or enkephalin, and it recharges at a rate of 1 every 5 minutes. What that means is you want to be min-maxing as much as possible with your stamina. How does that work? What that means is you can go into modules and convert your stamina modules. What does that do? Well, in the story mode, you're going to be using stamina normally here. Enkephalin, this is going to take 12 enkephalin to go into the dungeon, but for the main dungeons, it requires an enkephalin module. And the enkephalin module is made by going to modules, using 20 staminas to convert 20 stamina or 20 enkephalin into a module, and then you can use that module to enter in the dungeon. Now, why that's so important is if you're maxed out on stamina or you're capped out on stamina or you're about to stop gaming and you're going to take a break and go to sleep, what I recommend is converting all that stamina into modules, so that way you can have your stamina to recharge. And if you're still playing the game, I'd still recommend you to not ever have your stamina capped out, because what will happen is when you level up, your stamina is going to be capped. What I would recommend is I would just tell you to turn 20 stamina into a module to make sure that you have your stamina ticking down, so that way it can constantly be on timer recharging, and then that way you can get the most out of your stamina. But that is going to be basically the video. These are just my quick tips and tricks and things to avoid for day one. If you guys have any things that you've learned, comments, tips, tricks that or bugs that you found that you would think would be helpful for anyone else, please let me know in the comment section down below. I make sure to read every single comment. And also, I do stream on Twitch, and I'll be streaming this game quite a bit, so make sure you catch me on Twitch. John Panio signing out. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.